Hello everyone, my name is Sharon and I am with Sojo Chalks. We are an independent designer with Chalk Couture and I am so glad that you stopped by my channel. Today we're going to talk about the benefits of waxing projects before you chalk on them, and this will all make sense in just a few minutes. But before we get started, if you would be so kind to hit that subscribe button, that way we can stay in touch when I post new videos. And also, if you could like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. So, waxing. This little can of magic, it really can make a difference in your project, and it's only an extra couple minutes of prep for your project. So, if you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, we have a couple flagship items, one being our transfers, which are silkscreen designs that you can pretty much chalk on any flat surface, porous or non-porous. And you use this along with our chalk paste, which is a water-based product. Please jump into my channel, watch our other videos on other projects that we've done with Chalk Couture. It's really a product that's made for all skill levels, but the results are amazing. So, before you get started on a project, before you get started chalking, I always recommend, especially on a few specific surfaces, to wax the surface before you start to chalk on it. Now, Chalk Couture has surfaces that are recommended to be waxed before you use them. So things such as our cutouts, and here's one of our house cutouts. This is one of two. It comes in a set of two. We also have cutouts, seasonal cutouts like hearts. We had deer during the holidays, and we have bunnies for Easter. So any of our cutout items, which are wood, we recommend to wax those before you put your design on them, okay? Other surfaces from Chalk Couture, things like our mini palette board. Again, this is a wood surface, and wax before you chalk on it. Here is an example of one of our box frames, and these are two-sided, so either side that you use, we recommend that you wax before you chalk on them. And another real popular design from Chalk Couture is our door tags. And so again, it's a wood surface. Anytime you want to chalk on these, just take a few minutes to prep it with surface wax beforehand. And also for surfaces that are non-Chalk Couture, we highly recommend you wax before you chalk. Those include non-Chalk Couture blackboards or chalkboards. I know a lot of you use wood cutouts. So this wood cutout, typically you would paint it and then you would chalk on it. But somewhere between painting it, after you paint it, and before you chalk on it is when you're going to wax on it. Okay, so I hope all that makes sense. If not, please put any questions you have down in the comments below. So today I'm going to show you, I'm getting ready to do a project for my tiered tray. Just little add-on pieces for my tiered tray. And what I've chosen to use is our new mini transfers. So there's 12 of them on this sheet. And I'll be using a few of these designs. I'm sure you probably already picked out a few favorites for yourself. I'll be using a few of these. And what I'm going to be using them on is I went out to the shop today and I found a bunch of scrap wood. And I cut it basically about the same dimension as these designs. So I hope that makes sense. I'll be chalking these designs on these little wood blocks and then stacking them in my tiered tray. So what I've done already is obviously I've cut the wood. These are 1x3s that we just cut down to size, just kind of real random. They're not perfectly even, and nor do I want them perfectly even. I did go ahead and paint them with a black chalk paint. Now, it doesn't matter what you paint them with. I would still recommend waxing. And so I like chalk paints on my wood surfaces because I like the real rustic look and I like to distress. And so the chalk paint just distresses real nicely. Okay, so I've painted them. Before I chalk, I want to wax. So I always summarize it pretty easily by saying I've regretted not waxing surfaces. I've never regretted waxing a surface. So it's really worth a couple extra minutes. So what does wax do, especially on wood surfaces? Well, it's going to kind of fill everything in for you so you get a really smooth surface to chalk on. It's going to protect the fresh paint. Okay, literally I just did these within the last few hours. And most important, it's going to protect the transfer when you put it down on the fresh paint. So remember, our transfers are reusable, so they come out of the gate pretty sticky. And waxing helps give a barrier to the surface so that you can remove these without stretching the transfer. The last thing you want to do is stretch the silk screen, because then it'll distort it for future designs. Okay, so waxing, you guys, it's so easy. I'm using Chalk Couture's surface wax, and I'll put a link for this product down below. This is a clear wax, so if you have any clear wax at home, it's the same process. And if you don't have one and you end up with any of our wood surfaces, I would definitely recommend adding this into your cart. I have been working on this. This is a 2.5 ounce tin of wax. I've been working on this for months because you don't need a lot of it. As a matter of fact, I'll show you how little you need on my finger, and then we'll apply it to these little blocks. Okay, so the only other thing that you'll need for waxing is a lint-free towel, and preferably 2 lint-free towels, because you want to apply the wax with one and then buff it out with a clean one. So I've been using, and I'm kind of embarrassed to show you these, but they really come in handy. These are actually microfiber car waxing pads, and I'll put a link. This is my favorite one. It's got this little pocket. It's just real nice to work with. I'll put a link for this product down below. And so I have one that you can see is well loved. I've used it a lot. This is what I apply the wax with to the surface. And then after I let it cure for a bit, I'll go in with my clean one, my clean microfiber, and just buff it up. Make sure I remove all the excess wax and then give it a real nice sheen. And these little blocks, you guys, probably don't need more than this much paste. That's how little you're going to use. Don't load it on. A sparse layer is better than a thick layer. And normally I just put it on this well-loved microfiber pad, and I'm literally just going to rub it onto the surface that I'm going to chalk. And I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but already there's a difference in the surface. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Not a lot of elbow grease. And I've still got some on this pad, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this second block. Okay, so once you apply that, and again, I don't know if you can see that sheen in the camera, but you can see there's just a real thin layer of the surface wax on there. So I'm going to let these cure. Now, I think if you asked a purist, they would say 24 hours to let the surface wax cure, but I don't plan that far in advance. So I'll be back in 15 minutes and show you how to finish this. Okay guys, 15 minutes later, and literally I haven't touched these since we waxed them. I'm going to take this clean microfiber, and all I'm going to do, and again, not a lot of elbow grease, but I'm just going to polish the surface with it. And this is going to remove any excess wax. And then it just, I love the look of a waxed surface, especially when you're working with woods. And then it just gives it a real nice, really presentable finish to this product, which I think is super important with home decor. And again, I'm going to go and over this other one that we did. And you can feel it when you first start to buff it. It feels that your pad's going to feel like it's sticking a little to the surface. And then when you've got it really buffed out well, it's just gliding over the surface. You'll notice the change. And there you go. So that's all there is to waxing your surface. So again, if you purchase a Chalk Couture wood product, it'll tell you right on the packaging to wax it before you chalk on it. Then I painted doesn't matter what kind of paint. I painted it. Once the paint was dry, I waxed it. I waited 15 minutes after applying the wax to buff it out with the clean pad. And now I've got 2 surfaces that are ready to chalk on. So if you're interested in knowing or seeing what I do with these 2 blocks of wood, stop back, come back and visit my channel. And in the next few days, I'll have the complete project posted. So again, thanks for stopping by. We would truly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and like this video. And if you need any more information, just put your comments down below and I'll be sure to answer those. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next episode.